Hey there, it's Dorleen, and today I'm making a card. So I decided to make my own background paper for this really simple sketch. I have this tie-dye stamp set from Hero Arts, and it is so fun. I've used it a few times, but I don't use it often enough. So I picked out some really bright colors, and I went with the largest burst is what I'm going to call it, and then I worked my way down into the smallest. So I decided to start with the lighter color and then end with the darker, but I'm sure any combination would be really super cute. So I already cut my cardstock down to 5.5 by 4.25, and I end up trimming 1/4 of an inch on two sides, so it ends up being a 4 by 5.25. Yeah. Which will fit an A2 card perfectly. So again, I picked some really bright colors, and I just went ahead and stamped each burst starting from the biggest to smallest. I'm using this sketch from Sketch and Scrap because I am on their design team. I love using sketches, especially for cards, because even though cards, you think they would be pretty simple because it's a small surface that you're working on, it's kind of hard to get started. So this really gives you a little jump start on your creativity, and then look at where you can take it. In this case, I decided to make my own background paper, again, by just stamping this really fun tie-dye stamp set, and now I'm putting some black splatter over it just to add a little pop. Look at how cute that looks. Now, if you were doing darker colors for your tie-dye, you can probably do a lighter color to make it pop, but I just love that. It turned out so cute. I went ahead and grabbed a sentiment that I had from Close to My Heart, and it's basically a belated birthday sentiment because I'm getting pretty bad at sending cards on time, so this is really perfect. And again, the sketch shows a big sentiment, so I wanted to make sure that I put something really cute on there. And I went through my scrap pile and just grabbed a piece of black paper because I'm going to mat that sentiment once I trim it down, and it's just going to have a little bit of a border around it. I really like the black with that tie-dye because it pops so much. As a matter of fact, I end up using a black card base, which I absolutely love. So I hope you like this video, and if you do, give me a thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button down below. I do post 2 videos a week. One is always scrapbooking, and the other is whatever it is I'm creating in the command center, which is the name of my craft room and also my blog. Now, a lot of times I'll make cards because that's kind of the go-to, especially when I have scraps, but I also work with my Cricut, and so I'll do more like 3D items like shirts, party decor, things like that, but it just depends on what I'm doing that week or what I feel like making. I went in my scrap pile again to grab a piece of that orange strip piece of paper to go across the card, and I was thinking pink, but I thought if I stuck with pink, because there's pink in the tie-dye. Now, there's orange as well, but it's so small, like you really see the pink more than you see the orange. But I thought because I added the orange that I could send this card to either a male or a female, because sometimes when the pink's dominant, it's a little, it feels like it should be more feminine. But anyhow, again, I used a black card base for this card. I just took a 5.5 by 8.5 sorry, I had to think about it, piece of cardstock, and then I scored it at 4.25 and used my score board to do the score lines, which always makes the fold just more crisp, and just adhered the card base right to the top. Very simple, and if you're a card maker, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then I did use some 3-dimensional foam to put the sentiment on. So I have a, what do you call that, a tray over to the right of my desk where I just kind of put it's just random stuff, scraps of paper. Sometimes I'll do some stamping and stamp like 2 or 3 of the same thing, and so I don't really want to toss them, and I just throw random stuff. And one of them also is little leftovers from like different adhesives, things like that, and that's where I grabbed these little stripped adhesive, and I used up what I had instead of using a brand new piece for it, which, you know, either way it's going to get used. But there you go, super cute, right? And another thing I did is I did put a piece of white cardstock in the inside because not everybody has a white pen, so I believe I did that off camera, but there you go. I hope you enjoy this, and like I said, give me a thumbs up, and if you're not already, hit that subscribe button. Thanks again for watching. Bye.